So perhaps I should have explained a little bit better and a little bit more into this and the reason why we're doing this, because there's so many types of meditation, that every type, every meditation is different. And people often say that they can't meditate. The meditation really doesn't go that very well with them. They can't really get used to it. They're very fidgety. They can't stay in the pose for too long. And I say, just carry on doing whatever you're doing, and then do it in a way that whatever serves you, then you just keep doing it. Especially with regards to the types of meditation. So there's so many different types, and I personally will try every single one of them to see and kind of give it a little bit. So not just try it and then let go and then go on to the other one and try it and let go, and sort of not give any one of those thought or time to settle in, but try it for a certain period of time, then go on to the other one. Then again for a certain period of time, then go on to the other one. And the one that suits you best, the type of meditation or the process that you prefer, where you actually can go quiet, where you can stay without fidgeting, where you can be a little bit more receptive to anything that comes in, is probably the one that you should stick with. And that one is just because if it works, it works. There's no point in changing and doing anything else. And the reason why I'm saying that is because it just happened yesterday that I was talking to a friend of mine, a yoga friend of mine, who's she's a yoga teacher, so she's a Buddhist as well. But so as a Buddhist, you actually meditating with your eyes open, whereas I've been taught pretty much all the time that it is that you close your eyes so that you kind of shut one sense. But I did it with the eyes open as well. So there's a variety of things. But if you're receptive to anything that comes in, so certain things will come up as with the eyes open. The feelings would be completely different. Whereas certain things, when your eyes are closed and when you're more receptive, then you are going more internally. So the thoughts are very much likely to come up. Any thoughts about the present, the past, future, whatever you're doing. So any thoughts are going to come up. Anything, perhaps the feeling in the back, the feeling in the legs, the feeling in the arms, the feelings around the body, that's going to come up. So anything internally, how you're feeling is going to come up. Anything that your body is experiencing is likely to come up as well. And if you are receptive and open to the thoughts and to the feelings in the body, then you're more likely to receive meditation better, but also the poses that are coming up in this class tonight, that in a different way. So we're going to do about 4 or 5 poses only, and they are a combination of yin and a combination, and it's and restorative poses as well. And I'd like you to, every time that you're in a pose, to again go open your mind to receptivity. So feelings that you're experiencing in your body, the mind, not particularly directing it to your breath or to a certain part of the body that you kind of breathing into it, but just that you're not controlling the mind in any kind of way. But if you start thinking about, for me, so the cat's sitting there. So if I start thinking about the cat and I'm in the pose, that can happen, and it will happen very much so because he's there. But then, so I'm not going to try and control it and keep saying to myself, oh no, do not think about the cat, think about your breath, go back to your breath. But there is also that way of, to come back in the pose, that you want to sort of direct yourself in some kind of way, and whatever way is best for you to direct yourself to being in the pose is only going to work for you. So rather than me saying to you, think about this, think about your position, think about the breath, because I'm directing your thoughts and I'm sort of controlling your thoughts. I'd like you to go into your mind and sort of do it with yourself. And every pose that we tonight that we do, we're going to do as we normally do in this class for a certain longer period of time. So with that in mind, we're going to start off with supine butterfly. Now, whether you have a bolster, then I'd like you to come to make the bolster and put it down, either down on the floor, completely down on the floor, or a little bit risen up. It's down to you how you do it, and it will be down to you how you're going to get yourself set up, because it will depend on the props and it will depend on the number of on your body as well. So you're going to roll the blanket or your duvet to make it in a bolster, or you're going to put the bolster flat down on the ground and perhaps put something like a cushion or something on top of the bolster to help your head rest down. Come seated next to the bolster. Put your feet together, and then rest your legs, rest your knees wherever you feel that they can reach. So if there's too much tension on your knees, or if there's too much tension not on your knees, or if there's too much tension on your inner thighs here, then you want to get some kind of support, then perhaps you want to support underneath with the blocks, or you can just rest your thighs down and then just lie down. Completely down onto your bolster or onto your support, and open your arms. So initially I'm just going to say to you that you should be feeling and then I'll let you go into the pose. So I'd like you to feel sort of opening around the collarbone. I'd like you to feel the opening on your inner thighs. And then settle into the pose, settle into your breath, or just be receptive to anything that comes up. So remember, there should be no feeling of pain. If you feel pain, sharp pains anywhere, do shorten the amount of time that you stay in the pose. And slowly become aware of the physical body. Become aware of your hands. And perhaps stretch the arms over your head if you wish to do so. And just notice any feelings that are arising there from that movement. So any feelings in the upper body, lower body, in your spine or in your arms. And just circle the arms over to the side of your body and then touch the thighs. Push with your hands, push your thighs in towards each other, allowing the knees to touch and the feet to go down on the ground. So the feet are touching the ground now. And then slowly turn over to the right or to the left, whichever way you feel that it's easier for you to do. And then stay there, stay lying down on the side. Again, be receptive to that feeling, to that kind of pose. And slowly take the upper arm, put it down onto the floor, and push yourself up with the chin into your chest. Slowly coming up into seated. And then slowly lift your chin. So you might want to, I don't know how you adjust the volume there, but you might want to adjust the volume because my volume changes as I speak when I'm upright and when I'm down as well. So you want to, the next pose that we're going to go into is a side pose. And so it's a side stretch. Again, you will need, and perhaps we've done this before, it's a side lying deer pose, but perhaps in a different way that we've done it. You want to put the bolster or your rolled up blanket across your mat. And then you want to put something like a blanket or an extra cushion that you want to put where your head is going to be. Now, that you will depend, this prop will depend on your body and how you feel about it. That is the cushion to lie down. So firstly, you're going to come and sit sort of as closer to your the bolster. Sit upright there. Keep your feet a bit wider than your, so you want to, perhaps you want to see how I'm going into the pose and then you do it. Keep your feet a bit wider than your mat, and then slowly turn over. So we're going to go on the right first. I'm going to go on the left and then I'll adjust myself, but I'm just going to, so that I can show you. So keeping the knees, turning the knees to the right, and as you turn the knees to the right, you're going to adjust so that your right hip, so you're seated on the right hip, and then slowly stretch over, lengthen, and so the whole body, and then go down onto the bolster and over the bolster, so that the bolster is actually under your rib, side rib. Your head is going to go down onto your cushion. The shoulder is going to be between the cushion and the bolster. And then you're going to open the upper arm completely so that it can touch the floor. So it's a lovely stretch in the side body. So you want to do it in such a way that, so I'm going to turn over to the other side. Do it in such a way that it is, that you feel that opening in the right, in the side of the body. So seated upright, opening the legs a little bit so that they're wider than your mat, or a little bit wider than your hips, and then turning the knees to the right. So as you turn the knees to the right, so you automatically, you're opening, so you're opening the right hip opens outward, and the left hip comes in. And then you lengthening, and come over the bolster. Opening the arm, the left arm opens up. And the whole side body. So the left side is completely stretched. Now, if that position is quite happy, quite comfortable, you stay there. I'm just going to show here, so when you have a look at it later, I'll show you how it looks like without the cushion down on the floor. So what I'll be lying down on my my right arm and opening the left arm over. So you may want to stay there, or you may want to rotate the left side of your body, or the left shoulder, the part of the chest, upwards towards the ceiling, tiny bit, a small, tiny rotation. So as if you want to look up towards the ceiling, but keeping the knees down on the floor, both knees down on the floor. And again, be receptive to anything that arises. And slowly rotate. If your head was up towards the ceiling, slowly rotate your head back so that you're looking down towards the floor. Draw your left arm down to your face. And then slowly push yourself up into seated pose. So firstly, sort of rotating a tiny bit and bring your chin into your chest. And then rotating the knees back to the original position. And then turning over to the right, so that left, so that your knees are now going towards the left, touching completely down the floor, and then slowly you're going down towards the floor, over the bolster, lying down either on the arm or on the cushion, And taking the right arm over the left, touching the floor, just feeling the stretch all over on the right side of your body. And then perhaps you want to rotate your head up towards the ceiling. Noticing the rotation in the lower back, in the lower abdomen, or anything that comes up. But remember not to feel the pain. If you feel the pain anywhere, then come back to the original position or even come out of the pose. Start noticing your body, scanning your body, noticing if you're gripping anywhere. Slowly become aware of your physical body, your right hand. Bring your right hand down to your face, down to the side, to the floor, but next to your face. As you inhale, bring your chin into your chest and then slowly push yourself up into a seated position. And slowly lift the chin up. So I hope you like that stretch on the side stretch body. Now, before we go into the next pose, which is you are going to just do something to see how, which is the pose is it's called hero's pose in hatha yoga, but in yin yoga it's called saddle. So to actually do saddle, it will depend on, some people can do it, some people can't do it, and it just really depends on your body and where you are and how you feel in the pose. So to see whether you can do it or how you can do it is, to start with, is coming up onto your knees and then slowly lowering your sitting bones between your heels. So you're lowering the sitting bones down into your onto the floor. Now, if the sitting bones are not touching the floor, mine aren't, then first what you're going to do is just take your hand and just take a grab hold of your calf muscles and just push them down towards the heels. So grab hold of the calf muscles and push them down towards the heels. And then see if, again, the sitting bones are touching the floor. Making sure that the feet aren't going, so the feet are going backwards. So in a position like that. So back rather than that way. So you don't want to do that to have the wings on your feet, which is normally what the children say that they will do. So make sure that the knees are protected there. So the feet are going back. So you, now if the sitting bones are not reaching the floor, then you put the block or the cushion or something underneath so that you can actually give yourself a bit of support. So there's a support there. The sitting bones are reaching down to the floor and you can sit on something. So again, here you're lengthening the thighs. You're lengthening here, thighs. But if there's a too much, or if you feel any pain or so pain is kind of defined. So you might be feeling pain, but it could be the muscular pain, the muscles. So it doesn't have to be the pain, the actual pain. So the pain sort of defined as a sharp stabbing pain, then you really come out of it completely. So you shouldn't be feeling any such pain in your knees, especially. So it should come in as with the knees. If you feel any sharp pain in or sensation down into your feet, if they're coming into your feet, then perhaps roll something underneath your, a blanket underneath your feet, or a blanket or something underneath your the ankles, so the front of the ankles. So because we're staying in this pose for longer, it's important that you are actually comfortable in this. So I'll just show you what we're going to do. So it's going to be a saddle, but or a hero pose, supine. So we're going to be lying down on the bolster, and you'll want to have, in addition to the sensation that you'll be feeling in your thighs, you want to have sensation in your upper body as well. So you want to have the opening across the chest, you want to have the opening across the shoulders, and so the releasing in the arms. So not just in your thighs sensation, but the sensation in your upper body as well. So I'm putting the props again to help me get into the lying down pose. I might not be able to do it at all. I might not be able to go into it, in which case I want to go into a little bit of a, so there's a little bit of a step up, sort of to help me get into it. So the whole point about what this class and then kind of being restorative, yin and restorative, is that I want to have the stretch, I want to have the some sensation, I want to have the feeling of opening in my chest, but I don't want to be in pain, and I want to be I want to get the sensation of opening, but in a restorative pose, in a restorative style as well. So not just in yin style. So try this way first. So firstly, seeing where you can get to, making sure that the sitting bones actually come down, and then slowly going down onto the elbows, and then coming down onto the floor. Or across over onto the bolster. If this is not possible, then make sure you've got the support. So the support would be that. And also there's the other option as well. There's one more option of doing it, and that is doing one leg at a time. So see how it is where you are. If you feel that this is not possible at all, then perhaps do one leg at a time, which would be one leg down, one leg with the knee bent. And then again, be open to any sensation they come into. If you're doing one leg at a time, now would be the time to swap. So gently roll over and swap the legs. Be receptive to anything that comes to your mind. Slowly become aware of your physical position. Bring your elbows to your bolster and slowly push yourself up into seated position. So some people find this pose very relaxing and very open. Some people don't, which is fine. So you just be receptive to anything that comes in. If this pose is really not for you, you don't practice it that often, you don't do it at all, perhaps. But you see what is best for you. So I'd like you to first to get now to stretch your legs. So come out of the kneeling position. Come seated on your blanket. Stretch your legs out in front of you. Notice the stretch underneath your legs. So in the back of your legs, backs of your legs. Take the fleshy part of the sitting bones off the floor. And then start by sitting upright. So feel as if you're being pulled out from the crown of your head, from the top of your ears, as if you're being pulled up towards the ceiling. Relax your arms down in front of you. Flex your feet. And perhaps either look into your feet, towards your feet, or close your eyes. Notice your breath. So you're inhaling here and exhaling. Next time as you inhale, lengthen through the crown of your head. And as you exhale, slowly lower yourself down towards the floor. Now, wherever you can reach, whether you're up to here, whether you're down further, whichever way you do, just allow yourself to come forward. So you're bending from your hips and you're coming forward. Bear in mind that you don't want to reach for your feet. Release down. Release your feet, your arms. Relax your shoulders. And just be open to anything that comes in. Be open to sensations that are you experiencing inside in your body. And notice where your body is taking you with every single of your breaths. If you feel too much tension on your neck or on your head, perhaps you'd want to put something down. But then by putting something down, that will automatically mean that your head will be reaching for it, especially if you can't reach. So perhaps you want to do it in such a way that you've got your elbows on top of it, and so that you are reaching out, so that you're supporting your head. So you're relaxed. You stretched, but relaxed. And slowly become aware of your physical position, and slowly push yourself up into seated pose. Being aware of your chin, keeping your chin into your chest. Then when you're ready to go down into Shavasana or into the lying down pose, then you can do so by either lying down with your back flat down onto the floor. So either with the bolster underneath your knees, or if it's better for you, if you feel that it's better for your spine, then putting a blanket underneath your sitting bones and taking your legs up towards the ceiling. So you're lying down with the back sort of a little bit, the sitting bones on the blanket, tiny bit lifted up, but the back is down onto the floor. There's a tiny bit of a back bend, but very, very small. The shoulders are completely down on the floor. The chin is a little bit into your chest. The arms are pointing up towards the ceiling. The palms of the hands are pointing up towards the ceiling. And again, be receptive to anything that's coming up or that may come up. Perhaps use your breath as an anchor. Noticing the inhale, noticing the exhale. Bring your awareness to the sounds of hearing. Become aware of your physical body. Become aware of your fingers, your toes. Circle your wrists and your ankles. Take a big breath in as you inhaling, stretching your arms over your head, and stretch your legs away from you. As you exhale, bend your knees and bring your knees into your chest. One by one, hug your knees. And then turn to the side, or perhaps do one more twist if you wish to do so, bringing the knees to the right and to the left. And then the whole body comes to the side, lying down on the side. Slowly waking up, using your upper arms to push yourself up into a seated pose. And as you inhale, just come into a seated inhale, take your arms up towards the ceiling. Exhale, palms away from your hand, from each other, and down towards the floor. Inhale one more time, and this time as you exhale, hands together into Anjali Mudra, down the center line, down to your chest.